I'm Kat.
I'm Hayley.
And this is Night Classy, the podcast where two teachers unwind, sip wine, and each teach a lesson we cannot teach at school. What are we drinking, Hayley?
We've got a little Thanksgiving special. Cranberry vodka, anyone? We have the Deep Eddy cranberry flavored vodka and Diet 5 ocean spray.
Pairs well with everywhere.
Yeah, somehow they found a way to have only 1 gram of sugar despite their struggles with the FDA.
Yeah, we heard all about that today. Thanks, Alec. I guess
teachers are students.
Ocean spray is no good.
I love talking about the FDA.
Ocean spray is okay. Night Classy approved.
And it turned out okay. Yeah, it tastes fine.
You didn't think
to
it was
my surprise.
Yeah, it does taste fine. It's too easy almost to drink. I don't know anything about juice. Like, I never drink juice. So you and Alec were like, oh God.
Well,
like the low sugar. Oh God.
Well, like diet anything is just usually not good, especially as a mixer. So I was really suspicious, but it's all right. I think what helped is that I didn't buy the unflavored New Amsterdam like I was going to buy. And instead I sprung for the cranberry flavored Deep Eddy. So I think that
it was worth it.
Made a little bit of difference.
Definitely. Yeah. And they're very pretty.
Yeah, they are pretty. They're really pretty because the Deep Eddy is like a pink and then the cranberry is like a burgundy, and they kind of mix together and like make a nice ombre effect. It's really fun.
It's beautiful. And again, the reason is Thanksgiving. Yeah. We are officially on break as we're recording this.
That's what I'm thankful for.
That's what I'm thankful for too. Yes. Not having to work for a week.
Yes.
Not that I don't love being a teacher, but it's very hard.
It is most of the time not that fun, but sometimes it is fun and then it's worth it.
It pays off.
But
this week, one of my students was drinking this giant drink from McDonald's and he was just like chugging it. And his mom was like, you need to stop. You're going to make yourself choke. And then he covers his mouth and he goes, and he just projectile vomits everywhere.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. And it was a one-on-one lesson.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my
so
God.
I was like, okay, well, you guys go clean that up. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's like the other day. And I teach 11-year-olds, but sometimes you wouldn't know they're not preschoolers like yours, because I had this one kid and he was like bouncing all around and like making faces. And I was like, are you okay? Or like, he's like, yeah, I'm just like super sick. What? And he's like, yeah, I might have to run to the bathroom. Okay.
He was like doing the
you have
pee-pee
permission
dance?
to go to the bathroom whenever you need to. I don't know what kind of dance it was, but it wasn't good.
It was, and I have an issue and I have to move so that nothing else happens.
Yeah.
I've been
why
there.
Why are you here? This is online school. Like, there's no consequences for anything.
Yeah, it's so funny. My kids, especially one who's just like a little challenging, but he just likes to have fun and like challenge me as a teacher. Because I had him last year too. And he'll be like, in the middle of a lesson, he'll raise his hand or just interrupt and be like, I want to take a break. And I was like, okay, yeah, it's really hard to sit on our laptops for a long time. Get up, take a break and come back. And then he's not satisfied with that answer.
Like he wants you to say no and he can get mad.
Yeah, exactly. So he just sits there and is like looking mad and confused. And he's like, what do I do now?
Yeah. Oh man. Well, I will miss the kids, but I will not miss working. I'm excited.
Online teaching and schooling is just awful.
It's a whole thing, but we get to spend more time in our house. And speaking of our house, I have a house story this week. Do you? Is that what you wouldn't tell us while we're eating dinner?
No, it's not. Unless, I mean, I feel like some of my things have been misplaced, but I think it's just me being me. Yeah. So we're going to count that as a no.
Well, last night, Alec and I were standing in the kitchen, like next to the fridge, and we were watching Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Fallon do like the duet of Friday by Rebecca Black. And we were just watching it. And then there's like all this like Tupperware and papers on the top of our fridge. And they just like on their own just like toppled down on top of us.
Yeah, it all
and
just
crashed.
flew off at once.
Yeah, it flew off and like crashed all over the counter.
And Ghost wasn't up there.
Ghost was not up there.
Ernie wasn't up there.
No cats were on top of the fridge. It just like everything on the fridge just crashed to the ground and like on us.
And we were standing right beside it.
We were
It was
standing next to
weird.
the fridge, but like not touching it. It was
Ew.
really scary.
Okay, wait. So Alec, like this is the first time like you've experienced something like this in the house, and you're
Yeah, our fridge is kind of on an angle because that side of the kitchen kind of dips. It's an old house. So there's like a possibility it could have slowly kind of been leaning and sliding and then it all just slid off. But it was certainly startling and pretty scary.
Yeah.
that's super scary.
Yeah, it was scary.
That gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like forceful, like someone had swept something
yeah,
off.
it was very, because also there was like all these Tupperwares and papers, like if some of it started sliding off, it would have been a gradual thing, but it was like we were just standing there absorbed in this video and then it was like crash, like everything was just like whipped onto the counter and all over us.
Oh, heck no. This is getting personal.
Yeah, it's
And
a
there's no-
poltergeist.
There's no air vents or anything over near
yeah,
there.
there's no reason it should have done that. And then today I was terrified because I was in our bathroom taking a shower and I was blasting Meg Thee Stallion, obviously, because she just dropped a new album, but I couldn't hear very well, but it sounded like someone was like rattling the door. Like my bathroom door was shaking around and I got so scared, like to the point where I didn't want to wash my face because I'd have to close my eyes. And I was freaked out. And then I got out of the shower and realized my cat had like shoved his toy under the door and he was like sticking his arm under, like rattling the door around. So that was okay.
Everything is a ghost though. Like after you get Tupperware tumbled onto you, call it tumbleware.
Call it tumbleware. Yeah, basically. So we live in a haunted house and there's a possum now.
Yeah, our
Yeah.
cute little friend.
Yeah, we have a cute little friend.
We just need to bring him in, make him the fourth cat.
Yeah, I've thought about leaving food down there. We have a basement that's basically the outdoors. It's like a literal dirt hole in the ground.
Yeah.
And there's a possum living under there.
He's pretty cute.
He's really cute. I didn't know
And
they were that
friendly.
cute. Yeah, he comes out and looks at you. I was doing my laundry the other day when I discovered him, and he was just like perched up in like the dirt part of the wall, like chilling and looking at me, and he didn't run or hiss.
He's like, excuse me,
Yeah.
what are you doing in my house? Intruder alert.
That's big, yeah. But he was chilling. He'll like scratch under my bathroom floor, and the cats will like go crazy looking at him. And we read online that cats and possums have a mutual respect for each other. They won't attack each other. So
I
that
just
was
imagine,
comforting.
I imagine cats and possums walking on two legs, like they pass each other on the sidewalk. They're like, respect.
Yeah, they like nod at each other.
Yeah. They're cool with it.
I don't fuck with you. You don't fuck with me.
Exactly.
We're cool. But yeah, that's all I have.
That is all I have too.
Yeah. Oh, we did record. It feels like we haven't recorded in forever, but we recorded this Tuesday. Today's Friday. We recorded a new Patreon
Oh
episode.
my God. It was so fun.
It was so fun.
like recording on Tuesdays is like the forbidden fruit almost.
yeah, it makes it way more fun.
Yeah, not that this is not fun, but it's, you get into the routine of it. It becomes the normal thing. And then you throw in a Tuesday recording and you're drinking on a Tuesday and
Yeah.
having fun
Yeah.
on a Tuesday.
It's good. It's good. And I feel like I'm not tired from the week yet. Like on Fridays, I'm always a little bit dragging. But on Tuesday, like I'm still like a young buck.
Yeah, life hasn't gotten me down yet.
Yeah, it's only Tuesday. We're not even halfway through. But yeah, it was a blast. We recorded Hayley's friend Emmy's Patreon episode on Zoom, and it was really fun. Alex's gonna have a hell of a time editing it because there were a lot of sidebar conversations, but it was really fun.
Yep, everything's a sidebar when
Yeah.
you're a sidebar podcast.
Basically. But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, if you would like to check it out on Patreon, which I'm sure you would like to, we're putting out these new substitute episodes, we call them, monthly. Donations or sponsorships start at $1. There are multiple levels and you get access to all of our extra content that's, just not this free podcast that we work out and put on each week. We work extra hard. We put it on Patreon.
Extra hard. There are videos, there are episodes, there's all kinds of stuff.
You talked about a new little something earlier today, a little picture of the back of your head.
Oh, I put my hair up in like 2 little like pigtail buns today, and it like very clearly exposes where I chopped a huge chunk out of my hair. So maybe we'll snap a little picture and put that on Patreon, because
stay tuned.
Only the special people get to see it. It's not cute.
Need context for that? It was episode 34 where Kat cut her
where I
hair
cut a bunch of my hair off. It does not go unnoticed.
Sanity has left the building
completely. Sanity left the building a long time ago.
We kind of vibe with insanity now. Oh, another funny thing I wrote down just now or typed up. I was wondering how many SpongeBob or The Office references can we make in this episode? Because that's been a trend the past few. The funny part of that, though, was that I mistyped SpongeBob and it says Spinge Bebo. And I almost retyped it, but I decided not to.
Spinge Bebo. Can that be his name?
Spinge Bebo and Patricia Stock.
What's that?
Patricia or Patrick Star. That wasn't as good. We need to type Patrick Star as fast as we can and see what mistypo.
Let me try to do it without looking at the keyboard.
Okay.
It says Patigif Star.
Patigif Star. You nailed it.
Nice.
You nailed the star.
Thank you.
Sweet.
Okay,
so we have Sponge Bebo and
Petrivich.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. So I'm going first this week. We both blew a point 1 through 3.
Yeah.
And since Kat went
Crazy.
first last week, I know, it was crazy. I'm going first this week.
All right.
Okay.
Go.
So today's lesson is about a self-described savage, classy, bougie, ratchet.
Oh my God.
Sassy, moody, nasty.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Hell yes. That's like Alec asked us in the car. He's like, "Is Meg Thee Stallion still in college?" And you didn't say anything.
Oh,
but I bet you know.
I had to bite my tongue so hard so many times in the car. It was like my student trying not to throw up on camera. That's exactly what it felt like. So if you don't know, I am talking about the GQ 2020 Rapper of the Year. Her latest album, Good News, came out today when we're recording November 20th. Megan Thee Stallion. So she has been coming up for a while now. She is a chart-topping, singing, songwriting, rappist. She's not a rappist. She's a rap artist. Oh no.
What if she sues you?
Please do not sue.
I would allow her to sue me. Like if she just wants to look at me.
Yeah, if she knows who I am, then I won. I won. She has started a college fund for women of color. It's called Don't Stop, Work It, Bitch, which is
my God.
Man.
lines of her song Don't Stop. She's modeled in Rihanna's Savage Fenty lingerie campaign. Again, she was just recently announced 2020 GQ Rapper of the Year. She has 2 MTV Music Video Awards. In 2020, she was named one of Time Magazine's most influential people in the world. And in the 2020 recent BET Hip Hop Awards, she was nominated for Best Collaboration for Hot Girl Summer, Album of the Year for Fever, Video of the Year for Hot Girl Summer. And she won Female Hip Hop Artist 2020 and Viewer's Choice for Hot Girl Summer.
Damn. Chills.
She's a bad bitch. I admire her for so many reasons. She's honest. She doesn't hold back. She has an extremely strong work ethic, and she and her peers are really redefining what femininity, what it means to them. And they're taking their own stance on how women or those who identify as women can project their sexuality. She's very positive, very kind. She thinks it's so important to be good and do good. So Megan Thee Stallion has come a long way from where she started. So let's backtrack to see, how did she get here? So she was born. Sorry, I thought you were going to say something. You tilted your head.
I just got a flashback to when we made that like skit with Tommy, and it was like, bloop. So you're probably wondering how I got here.
That's exactly it. We need to insert the record scratch.
Yeah.
All right. So record scratch here. Megan Jovan Ruth Pete was born on February 15th, 1995 in Bexar County, Texas. She grew up in suburbs or surrounding areas of Houston, or she calls it the H, and she like throws her hands up like to make it look like an H. And this created the first of many nicknames for Meg Thee Stallion, that being H-Town Hottie. Some people thought that she was from San Antonio, and she kind of cleared it up on YouTube. She did this thing where she went undercover as Megan Thee Stallion and answered people's questions on like Quora. She edited her Wikipedia page. She went on YouTube, but someone was like, "Isn't she from San Antonio?" And she was like, "No, my mom was pregnant. She lived in Houston, but my grandma was in San Antonio," and was like, "You need to have that baby in San Antonio." So her pregnant mom drove to San Antonio to have Megan, and then drove back to Houston after.
Why?
I don't know. Just like she didn't give any more context, but just like be around family.
Okay. I was
know.
like, are the hospitals not good in Houston? What does that mean?
I have no clue, but that is what happened. So she grew up in Houston. Her mom, Holly Elise Thomas, aka Hollywood, was also a rapper. Here's a picture of them together.
Cool. Aww.
Very cute.
So cute. It's Christmas time.
Yeah, it's Christmas time in the picture. They look real cute. She looks like her mom for sure. Mm-hmm. Oh, here's some more pictures of just little Meg Thee Stallion.
Oh, she's so cute.
I know.
Little baby.
Little baby. And her grandma and her mom have always been very strong influences in her life. She's very close to her grandma, and they just really set good examples for her as to what a strong female is like. Her dad, she describes him as a hustler who spent the first 8 years of her life in jail, and then he ended up dying when she was 15. So I couldn't find a lot of information about her dad, but that's what I've got for now. So let's talk about school. I'm sorry, I'm talking fast. I have a lot of information.
I bet you do.
In school, her favorite subject was English. She loves to play with the meaning of words. She says, "I've been writing since I was maybe 7. I was kind of shy about telling people that I could rap for the longest time." So she writes all of her raps, and she's been writing for a super long time. She says that she's always freestyling in the shower, or she was just getting in all that practice. And she was a closeted rapper for ever. Like, no one even knew that she could rap for the longest time.
Whoa. Imagine having like a crazy secret talent.
Yeah. She would watch all the music awards and things like that, and she'd be like, "Man, these people don't even know. Like, I can like spit bars, and they don't even know about me. They're gonna know about me."
Oh my God.
But just the whole time, it was like me in the car being like, "I know how old Megan Thee Stallion is." It's the same. It's the same. And no one even knew forever. But she always saw her mom writing, since her mom was a rap artist as well. Her mom would take her to the studio with her instead of taking her to daycare. And Megan would just hang out in the like recording room. And Megan said that, you know, it seemed like she was probably doing kid stuff, but she was really just watching her mom and taking in everything, all of the music scene. And eventually she would ended up, like when she was older, she would steal her mom's CDs, the one with just like the backtrack music, so that she could practice by herself, just all alone. And so this childhood of hers was full of practicing rap completely in secret. She was in middle school the captain of the cheerleading team. And in high school, we get to find out about the origin of her name, Meg Thee Stallion. So she's in 9th grade. She's walking out of a football game. I think she was probably cheerleading. And a much older guy is like, dang, little mama, you a stallion. And she's tall.
Yeah, she's super tall, right?
She's 5'10". And Megan's like, like go to jail. I'm 15 years old. And she went off on him. And like he scared her. She didn't even know what a stallion was. So she goes home. What do you think it is?
A male horse.
A male horse. I mean, literally, yes. She asked her uncle, like, what's a stallion? And it's just Southern slang for a woman who's tall and fine.
Oh, yeah. I had no idea about that.
Me either.
But I assumed she was like implying that by calling herself a stallion, like tall and strong.
Like she's strong. Yeah. So she was like, oh, yeah, I am that. Yeah. So she really leaned into it. It's been her social, like all of her tags on social media since 2009.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She always wanted to be a rapper growing up. Again, it's completely in secret, but her grandma told her that she should go to college, she should be a nurse, and she didn't want to disappoint her mom or her grandma. So that's exactly what she did. She went to college at Prairie View A&M. And at that point in time, she had about 6,000 followers on Instagram.
From rapping?
Not from rapping, because she was still not rapping publicly. No one knew she was a rapper. She thinks that it's because she liked to cut up and, she was a stallion. She's hot. So she had like 6,000 followers on Instagram from high school going into college. So,
dang.
Yeah, she already kind of has this small, large following.
Oh my God. I remember Instagram in high school, like being excited to break like the 11 like threshold where
where it didn't show all the names.
Yeah, until you hit 11.
Exactly. I mean, not exactly for her, but yeah, I remember that. I got my Instagram in like 9th grade.
Same.
And my phone, I don't even know what phone I had at the time, but I knew I had to get Instagram on my iPod.
Yeah. Oh, I had like an iPhone 4. It was a brick.
Nice.
And I'd take pictures of like my soccer cleats and my dog. And that was the entire Instagram.
I remember I deleted this picture off Instagram, but I remember taking a picture of me. Like I had cut strawberries and I took a picture of the cut up strawberries and the knife I used and posted it. And when I went back to delete all the pictures I didn't want anyone to see anymore, I was like, definitely not that. Like that is just teen angst in a picture.
Oh my God. So much teen angst. Or like you draw on your friends with Sharpies and like post that.
Yeah.
And
that would definitely get 11 likes.
I would definitely would. I purged my Instagram recently and deleted like every single picture up until this summer. But there was like one picture I had on there that was just like my hand with a caterpillar on it and it had no caption.
That's a move though, to do no caption. It's pretty bold.
I suppose. I think everyone was still trying to understand what Instagram was and it took me a while.
I'm sure it was artfully done.
It was, yes.
I'd love to see it. Wish you wouldn't have deleted it.
It's in my archives.
Oh, okay, good. You'll have to pull it up after the show. So much like we were on Instagram in 2011, Megan was bored as fuck in college. She wasn't really digging nursing, so she switched over to business management, which to me also sounds kind of boring.
Sounds more interesting than nursing to me, but still not that fun.
Yeah, she agreed. She was still bored. She left Prairie View and she got a job and went to school online because she didn't want to just not be in school, which at that point, like I really look up to her for that because I would have definitely not been in school and just taken a break.
But also, like, how are you not? I guess a lot of people don't have fun in college, but it's like, how are you bored?
I don't know. Well, she's about to not be bored. Okay. I'll tell you what. So she comes to her mom and she's like, I can rap. In her college years. She's like 20 years old at this point.
Yeah.
And her mom at first didn't take her seriously.
I mean, I wouldn't if she'd never heard her.
She heard her. She rapped for her. She rapped for her. And the problem was that her lyrics were too explicit.
That's a problem?
Yeah. And her mom was like, well, I can't really blame anyone but myself because you just sound like me.
Right. She from like a little baby watched her mom in the studio. Like, rapping.
So she's just fun.
I picked some stuff up.
Yeah, and that's exactly what
Yeah.
she did. Megan said that her lyrics were the same as now, but just a little more ratchet. So
I would really like to hear that.
We can definitely pull some up.
Okay, good.
She, after like coming to her mom and be like, I can rap, and then her mom was like, you can't come out till you're 21. Like, you can't jump off the porch until you're a grown woman. She was like, all right. Megan's like, all right, I'll just go practice by myself in the studio. So she did that. Eventually her mom was like, okay, you clearly have dedication to your art, and she realized she had potential. So her mom became her first manager. And like I said, she just really leaned into it because she couldn't blame anyone but herself. Megan ended up going back to school after deciding that she wanted to be in the health field, just not a doctor or a nurse. She said that she wanted to run shit. So I forget who it was. Someone suggested to her, like, you should be a health administrator. You can be the boss. You can still be in the field. And so, of course, Meg Thee Stallion was like, yes, let me do that. Because she just has like big boss energy, that unwavering confidence. So she enrolls at Texas Southern University. She starts getting all A's. And at the time, her grandmother was sick. She watched how her grandma was being taken care of in nursing homes. And she wanted to open up more facilities like this really good one her grandma was in. And so that is kind of how she got on this path of health administrator. And as of March 2020, yes, Megan is still in school. She needs 6 more classes as of 2020. I don't know if she did summer school. She takes 2 at a time. Everything's done online. But her end goal, of course, she is a rap artist now, but her end goal is to open up facilities, create her own business, and let her classmates that she met in the health administration, like in-person classes, run her buildings.
Wow.
She like already has a team picked out.
That's crazy. How
I
cool
know.
is that?
I know. I'm like, wow, that is a vision of success right there.
Yeah, seriously. And also the fact that she's still in school, even though she's like wildly successful as an artist.
Yeah. I would have definitely dropped out.
I would have dropped out so fast. You wouldn't even be able to say drop out, and I've already dropped out.
Yeah. I'd be like, oh, I can? Okay, thanks for the permission. Not that I don't think education is super valuable.
Oh, yeah. But like, I'd probably put it on hold until I like went to school just for fun. She's
like,
doing so many other things.
Right. As her career is just like exploding.
Yeah.
But I mean, at that point in time, she wasn't, as she's just kind of gearing up to get her name out in the rap game.
Yeah, but if she's still in school now.
Yeah, she's still in
she
school
does
now.
not have to be in school anymore.
But also, she's only 6 more classes away, probably
yeah.
less by now.
I mean, it's definitely worth it, but I mean, God, she must be so busy.
I know. Definitely someone to look up to, in my opinion.
The publicity of graduating probably kind of factors into it. Like, it would be all over a bunch of magazines.
That's true.
Especially since she started that college fund, and she is such an advocate for Black women and their education and protecting them. I think it's a move that just really describes what she's about.
Yeah.
I'm just so glad that in the car ride here, I was like, I think she's still in college. Then you said you were doing Meg Thee Stallion. I was like, oh no, they're going to figure out how much of an idiot I am. I was totally talking out my ass. I don't even know if that's true.
I wonder who told you, because you're like, I think someone told me that.
Yeah, I can't remember. But I was glad I was right. I was sweating bullets over here. I was like, oh no.
That would have been really funny if I just specifically said she's not in college anymore. You dirty liar.
Just out of nowhere.
Yeah,
By the way, she's not in college.
How dare you lead us astray?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, you're right. She's in college right now studying health administration, but she spent a lot more time in college before now. So I'd like to rewind a little bit before she got really big. So after she came to her mom and said, I can rap, she started doing freestyle rap battles in college. And the first rap battle that she won was completely not planned. She was at this kickback with her best friend and all of the basketball players were there, and she really liked this one guy. She's crushing on him hard, and he goes up to the rap battle and he did a phenomenal job. And so she's like, yeah, he did a really good job. He needs to know that I can rap. So she gets up there and she ends up winning the entire thing.
I feel like that's such a her thing to do, to see a guy doing a good job at something and she's like, I can do it better, and just like beats his ass down.
Yeah, that's exactly her. That's where
that's her whole lyrics to every song.
And she said in so many interviews, I can't even tell you how many interviews with Meg Thee Stallion I listened to this week. Like last night, I didn't go to bed first, but Tommy did. So he just probably fell asleep to the voice of Meg Thee Stallion. But really what she's all about, like her mom is number one, like her first inspiration as a rapper. But then after that, she, has her inspiration of Tupac, UGK, Pimp C. And she remembers listening to their lyrics, understanding them, and then being like, it would sound way cooler if a woman was like, what if a woman was singing this? Like somebody needs to do that. And thank God Meg is here to fucking do it. And that's exactly what she did. She won that whole thing at that college kickback. She absolutely dominated. And so she was like officially announced as a rapper. That was her first like public outing. And her bestie was like, dang, like you're really good. Let's record it. So they did. The next day, they record it in the dorm. She puts it on YouTube and her following has really just gone up and up and up from here. I couldn't find the video. I can't believe I couldn't find it, but maybe it's out there somewhere. If you would like to look, she said in an interview in 2018 that it was titled under Killing Shit, but the I is like an asterisk. So go on a little scavenger hunt, see if you can find it.
Yeah.
Okay, so things were like a green light from there. Megan started doing rap battles and participating in ciphers throughout college. Do you know what a cipher is?
No.
I didn't either. Okay.
Kat and I are both like, yeah. No.
I look at those all the to those. I don't know. all the time. I'm an expert.
Well, then I don't have to tell you. But for anyone who doesn't know,
I'm ciphering right now.
Cipher, I barely know her. So you already know this, but it's a group of freestyle rappers sometimes taking part in a battle rap. And battle rap is a type of rapping that includes bragging, insults, and boasting content. Most of the time it's recited or improvised completely spontaneously. So in 2013, this video from the Houston Cypher is released. And it's like all these rappers on the rooftop. There are 10 of them, and Megan is the only woman out of all of them. And she absolutely killed that shit. She was the best one there. And you can just see that she shined from the beginning. Like, we should watch this video if you guys want to. You'll go for her part and stay to watch her unamused face in the background of everyone else's raps.
My God.
I would be ashamed if I were these guys.
Oh, yeah. I would like to hear a freestyle. I never have listened to one of hers.
Do you want me to play one now?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, they're just on the roof of a parking garage.
Yeah, but a pretty tall one. It's definitely, you can see the city in the background.
It's a sunny day.
It's a sunny day. Yeah. So there were 10 rappers, but there are way more people there. And from what I've seen in my research, I had never watched videos of ciphers before, but like the participating ciphers will stand in the background while the rapper who's up raps. Okay, so I think Megan's
a lot of these niggas wanna hit it with Megan. He heard I work it out, roll it like a Jamaican. He call my phone when I'm on the road. See if I'm alone, then I go up in the bathroom and give him what he wants. Taking pics.
And you'll see these guys acting like fools in the background, like they can't control themselves.
Yeah, she just has a different kind of presence than any of these other guys.
I'm looking at your face in the mirror, you be lying. If you tell me this ain't mine, how you lick it up and down, must be trying to make it shine. Like a slip and slide ride, do it slow, then rewind. Name a bitch you know who fucking with my flow. Your dick getting stiff, watching my videos. Record it on my phone, then put it in slow-mo. I'm the real deal, no faking.
The dude in the back is just doing everything he can to get near her.
Yep.
When he see me in Giuseppe, gotta tell him calm down. We in public, don't
So she is in some Daisy Dukes, some high heel gold shoes. She's got a gold chain and she's got this like tight fitted, like it looks like a bra, but it has kind of sleeves on it. She's got the girls out to play.
He wanna be down, he respect my chase. That's why I gotta keep a special place for you. Cause when I'm done in the booth, I'm coming home to you.
All these guys are acting like nerds behind her.
Yeah, they can't even control themselves. They look like fools.
Yeah.
And they are.
Yeah.
There it is,
holy
that
shit.
punctuation.
Yeah.
And then wait, go to the one where the guy in green is going.
Appreciate. Took you from your nigga, back. What I give you back. That's the Christmas gift.
She like it's like not even a sneer. Like she just looks like actively disappointed.
Ask me what's the smell been Franklin in my cologne. She say I'm such a dog, but I found my way home. I'm healthy, got my veggies on their way, stay very strong. You call me your gymnast.
Her and the first guy who did good are like looking at each other like, who the hell is this?
They start talking in the middle of it.
First words as a child was, mama, we gon' get rich. Trying to get away from these strippers, but they keep pulling me in. I jack, I rob, I steal, we running home, we gotta win. I'm not no average nigga, but you look like a good kid. Smart money, good money, but you
She looks like she's confused about how he's so bad.
She's offended that he even calls himself like that. He's even in this cipher.
Yeah. Do you see her just like try to smile and then wiped it off her face?
That was me when my student threw up.
I had to hang up so quick. I had to like, okay, go clean that up. I gotta go laugh my ass off.
She killed that shit. There were two guys who did pretty good, in my opinion, of all my ciphering that I do. But the other ones did not do a good job. Nonetheless, it goes viral. And Meg Thee Stallion credits all these ciphers that she did to her very quick rise in fame. Other ciphers that she took part in were Wild Thoughts. She did the Stally freestyle, which like just blew up. And that was a video that she recorded before she went to actually record a song just outside the studio messing around. So she's participating in all these ciphers. She starts posting freestyles to her Instagram and she starts calling her followers hotties. Mm-hmm. And what being a hot girl means to Megan Thee Stallion is doing what you want to do, being the baddest bee you can be, and not caring what nobody got to say about it, just being unapologetically you. And I'm like, yeah,
that's exactly what a hot girl is.
And it just makes me feel so good listening to her music. I feel empowered.
That's exactly what it is. Like, that's what draws me to her music so much is you just feel good afterward. Like,
there's like an endorphin rush.
Yeah. It just fills your cup and makes you feel good. And yeah.
I feel bad for anyone listening who doesn't like Megan Thee Stallion or who doesn't listen.
Pause this. Go listen. Yeah.
Gain some appreciation.
Yeah.
Excuse you. Yeah, excuse you. You've misstepped. Let me educate you.
Are you going to talk about Girls in the Hood?
Yeah, go listen to Girls in the Hood and then come back.
Yeah, that's our pump up song in night class.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys should let people know.
We love Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah,
we play it every single time right before we press record.
Yeah.
It's the kickoff. You can also see her signature in these early videos. The one fan wrote to her saying that they were like, OMG, it wouldn't be a Meg song without her saying 5 times. And Megan was like, yes, like the reason why I do that at the beginning is to let you know I'm about to go hard. And then the at the end, so you know I'm done.
Nice.
Wow,
Yes,
like
punctuation.
Mm-hmm. It's a little bookmark in there. Yeah, some punctuation. And that is a trademark of hers. One of the times that Megan felt like she had really taken off, and this was still early on, okay? Like there are going to be several times where she's like, man, like I've really taken off. But one of the first times that I found that she talked about in an interview was that she did a freestyle on this rapper TK's The Race and posted it to Twitter. Missy Elliott saw it, commented 3 fire emojis on it, and retweeted it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's like way better than today. We were like, oh my God, Wine and Crime responded to our DM. This is better.
I mean, at the level we're at, I think we've peaked for now. Hopefully, we're going to plummet back down and then we'll like go back up. But
Yeah.
not Missy Elliott commenting emojis, like not even words. There are no words.
Yeah. It's just fire emojis. I texted you guys today that one of the songs on her new album was Flames, but I didn't use emojis and I regret it now.
Ooh.
Yeah. That was rude
You
of
should
me.
have. You should have. So after Missy Thee Elliott. God. Oh boy, I'm glad I'm
Missy
listening.
Thee Elliott, the rappist.
Oh no. Just do 3 fire emojis. They'll know what it means.
Oh, God.
After Missy Elliott, she retweets her freestyle. And like I said, it goes up and up and up from there. In 2016, Megan releases her debut, Like a Stallion. It later becomes her lead single on her mixtape, Like a Stallion. She releases another mixtape in the same year called Rich and Ratchet, which is like insane. 2 mixtapes in 1 year, especially you're still in college. Early 2017, she released Megan Mix, which is on SoundCloud. If you want to check it out, she was like, one of the SoundCloud artists who actually got famous. In 2017, I feel like I've known Megan for a really long time as an artist and as one of my favorite performers, but it really hasn't been that long.
Yeah, no, I only, I think first heard her like maybe like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, it was
It
like
hasn't
last
been-
summer for me.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's-
2 summers ago.
Mm-hmm. That's about when she came mainstream. So in 2017, she releases her solo professional debut called Make It Hot. She found a ton of success in the song Last Week in HTX. There were several million views on YouTube. So it's like things are just leveling up and leveling up as they go. I don't want to like bore you with all the stats and things like that. But in 2017, her mother and grandmother died in the same month.
Oh my God.
So that was pretty rough.
Yeah.
She took some time off school. She returned to Texas Southern University and she was still pursuing her music career.
How did her mom die?
Her mom died after a long battle with brain cancer.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And that also just fuels her passion for administrating
Yeah.
health services.
And probably part of her still trying to make her mom and grandma proud by getting her degree in health.
Yeah, in a couple of her interviews, it was, you could tell like before and after her mom had died, because like she'll give her mom shout outs like, Mom, like I've made it, like especially in the recent ones like GQ 2020 Rapper of the Year.
Yeah,
Like
that's
we made it,
crazy.
Mom.
Makes me like tear up.
I know.
Yeah.
Me too. Because it's not just her. And while she's so confident
Yeah.
and like cocky in her rhymes, she's not like that in her real life. I feel like I don't know her personally yet.
Meg, if you're listening.
Can't wait to see you. Let's get our nails done together. Let's be friends. But it really seems like she considers it all a team effort and that she wouldn't be what she is without her mom and without her grandmom. So she comes back to school after they died, and one professor gave her a really hard time as she's really starting to pop off and is going on tour. All of her other professors make arrangements for her, but this one professor is like, if you don't come to class, I can't do anything for you.
What a dick.
What a complete dick. She's like, you can't just email. Like, I will do the work.
Yeah.
I will do the work. Just email me, or like, just send me a huge email, send me a packet. Like, and they were like, no.
What?
And they gave her an incomplete.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
For not showing up to class?
For not
what
showing
kind
up
of
to
school?
class.
She's at what? Is she still at
She's
Texas
at
University?
Southern University.
So that's a big school, right?
Yeah.
They're probably big lectures. He can't fucking
He can't just
let
help.
a classmate film his lecture and email it to her?
Yeah.
What?
And so instead, they're that one professor who she shouts out in her interview, like,
Yeah.
this one dick.
Also, I'm calling him a he, Not because I think all professors are men, but because I think most assholes are men.
I think it was a she.
I'm assuming,
to be fair.
Okay.
I think she said she. I can't remember, but I mean, a lot of guys
clicking
just
his tongue at me.
just earlier, Kat was like,
women
I'm not
can
mad.
suck too, but like it's more rare.
But as a professor, the dude professors are way more likely to fuck you, and the female professors are more likely to fuck you over.
Really, in my experiments, I guess I never had like a mean professor, but I feel like always like my douchey professors who I was like, this guy's kind of a creep. It's always the guys. I never had like a female professor who I didn't like.
Oh, okay. To be clear, I've never had any sexual relations with a professor. I've never had sex with that professor, but I've had a few female professors who were just kind of bitchy.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know.
I also went to a huge school, so I never really was on like speaking terms with any of my professors. So they always like seemed fine. I don't know.
Yeah, that could do it. I feel like probably a lot more opportunity because UC has under 50,000 students.
Yeah.
So there's more opportunity to talk with them personally. But Megan did not have that relationship with that professor apparently, but she's retaking the class now, so it's all cool. In 2018, she became the very first female rapper to be signed to 1501 Certified Entertainment. She released the EP called Tina Snow. You might recognize that name from her lyrics in Tina Montana. You know, young Tina Snow going hard on a hoe. So Tina Snow is her alter ego. Megan's favorite rapper after her mom is Pimp C, and one of his nicknames / alter egos is Tony Snow. So Megan turns herself and gets into the mindset of Tina Snow when she's performing because she wants to feel as cool as she does as when she listens to Pimp C. And she wants she wants her hotties to feel cool too.
Okay.
And I feel like I'm trying to think of my alter ego when I'm teaching or when I'm podcasting. Like I need to create names for my alter egos.
When I'm teaching, I feel like I'm just like stone faced and mean because I teach middle schoolers. Like I just have to like put on a face like I deal with no shit. People always message us. They're like, "Oh my God, I wish you guys were my teacher." I'm like, "No, you fucking don't."
Well, maybe me. I feel like I'm Nanny McPhee when I'm a teacher.
I don't want people to think I'm mean to my students, but I feel like I'm not bubbly and funny when I'm teaching. You just can't be. With
that weakness,
11-year-olds.
Just
you
cut
show
right
no
into
weakness.
it. But fortunately, Megan could show weakness. She could be open with her fans, but still be this like cool, confident person, Tina Snow. And she is catching eyes and ears all around with her ability to be open about her sexuality and rap with, I quote, electrifying pace and precision. So later in 2018, Megan signed with 300 Entertainment. Again, the first female rapper ever to sign for that group. And the catchphrase, Hot Girl Summer, ended up going viral. She later trademarked it in September of 2019 after she released the actual song that she collabed with Nicki Minaj for. So that brings us to 2019. Before I get too far ahead of myself, her big break in my eyes came from her song Big Ol' Freak. She put out a music video for that. It charted number 99 on the Billboard Hot 100. And I feel like that is really the spark that lit the match for her. Like she's been building and building and building. Like she's been stacking all these matches for so long. And then that one spark, it went off from there. It was her first chart entry. It ended up peaking at number 65 on the Billboard. Her second mixtape of 2019 was Fever. And people were like going crazy about it. They're like, she's like an automatic machine gun, the way she delivers bars. It's insane that her brain can even think that fast to me because I can't even read on my podcast these notes that I have created. And She's just awesome. Meg starts to get featured on other artist tracks like Chance the Rapper, Quavo, City Girls. She releases her actual song, Hot Girl Summer, with Nicki Minaj, which is a huge name in the rap game and just the music industry. It peaks at number 11 on the charts. And then she signs a management deal with Roc Nation. That brings us to 2020, the wonderful year of 2020. On the top end, she releases her Savage remix with Beyonce. And again, this is another time where she's like, damn, I've made it. Like,
oh, yeah.
I've arrived.
Yeah, you have Nicki Minaj a few months ago and you're like, I've made it. And then you have Beyonce a few months later and you're like, okay, I've made it.
Yeah, I wonder what our
and
next...
not only Beyonce, oh my God.
Beyonce.
Not only Beyonce, but Beyonce is featured on your song. You're not featured on Beyonce's song.
Yeah, I would love to
Yeah.
know the conversation that went down between those two to make that happen.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Beyonce had to have been like, that's some fire.
Yeah.
Can I get
to
on
agree
it?
Yeah, for sure.
And what's cool is that Beyonce and Jay-Z invited Megan to the Carter house on New Year's Eve for 2019. They're having a pajama party. And Megan was like, oh my God, I would love to come, but I've got a show tonight. Can I come after? And they're like, yeah, definitely. So she does her show. Her stylist was late to bring her pajama outfit to the party. They are rushing the car into the Carter household, and they arrive at 11:59 to the New Year's Eve pajama party at the Carter house.
And is she still dressed in like her show stuff?
She's dressed in, I guess she had like two options for pajamas. There was one like really bougie pajama set, but the stylist or something like forgot it, or she couldn't get it, or he didn't give it to her, and she was just in like normal pajamas, and everyone else there was like bougie as fuck. You know, they had like silk robes and their little like fluffy slippers, I imagine. But again, that was what happened right before. I don't know when they recorded it, but the song Savage came out early 2020, or the remix did. So again, that's another she made it moment, but she keeps making it. The song both songs reach, Savage and the remix, reach number 1. And she takes the profits from that and they go to a nonprofit. Wow, what accent was that? Nonprofit called Bread of Life. And we're mixing accents now. But Bread of Life in Houston, she used that to provide disaster relief for residents affected by COVID-19 in early 2020. Yeah, it's super.
And now she's
cool.
rapping about like putting her mask on in her newest album.
She's so relevant.
Shots fired. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's like talking about Breonna Taylor and, you know, Good News is all about Black women and protecting them and just getting the fucking word out. Yeah, she's amazing. She keeps releasing single after single. She announces her debut album, Sugar, but then she's like, wait, it has to be postponed because I'm trying to renegotiate my contract with 1501. So drama, like stuff hits the fan with her old record label 1501. She starts the hashtag Free Meg and hashtag Free the Stallion. It went viral because her argument is that she was so young. She was 20 years old when she signed the contract with 1501 Entertainment. She talks about how she didn't fully understand the legal terminology. She didn't have what she needed to fully understand what was taking place.
The music industry is just designed to fuck artists over. Yeah.
And that's exactly what they were doing. She said that the contract allowed 1501 to literally do nothing while at the same time taking everything for themselves, like all the majority of her income. So she files to sue the record label. She releases her EP Sugar in March, which her record label did not want her to do. They're pissed. Megan goes to the court and is like, help me. And so a judge grants Megan a restraining order against the CEO, Carl Crawford at 1501 Entertainment.
Why a restraining order?
I think it allows her to go forward. I really did not get into a bunch of the mumbo jumbo. I think it allowed her to go forward and kind of like distance herself from them.
Like you couldn't just show up to places she was at, maybe?
Yeah, that's a really good question. There was so much stuff, like legal stuff, that I tried to read through, but I was like, I'm just trying to keep this lesson interesting. I thought, like, I didn't really know about all this drama with her contracts. And in every interview, she's like, I can't talk about it much, but she did post a little hot girl pic on the gram around this time. And one of the parts of her caption said, facts are facts and the facts are public, and that she will stand up for herself and won't allow two men to bully me. I am no one's property.
Yes.
So if you want to go through all of the contracts, they are public. You can look them up. And also, I'm going to be using her caption as an affirmation to say in the morning. In the mirror every day.
Two men can't bully me. Who's bullying you? Alec and Tommy.
Exactly. Tommy told us to drink water today. Can I get a restraining order?
Yeah, I think we need one.
Nothing
Fuck you,
will
Tommy. I said it once today and I'll say it again.
We can keep replaying this podcast. Yeah. Infinity, fuck you. But I don't feel that way. Kat does.
I'll take responsibility.
Thank you. But of course, Megan has the same energy. She is not standing down to men bullying her. There was a Tory Lanez incident where she was shot. He was arrested. Apparently, she actually got shot in both feet.
Really?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
So he actually pled not guilty this Wednesday, November 18th, and he was arraigned. He'll be back in court January 20th. 2021 should be an exciting week. Yeah.
Also, what an idiot. Like,
what a fucking idiot.
Plead guilty and take the deal. Like, you're not going to not get convicted, right?
Right. His maximum is like 22 years in prison he could serve.
But I feel like if you plead guilty and take a deal and the maximum is 22 years, like, he's going to get out after like a year or two.
Yeah,
like,
and they're going to be able to prove him. If I had to guess, like, there are videos of her getting out of the car.
Oh, yeah.
And, like,
Kylie Jenner and Megan Thee Stallion are witnesses.
Yeah,
pretty sure. Yeah. What an idiot. I mean, he sucks for a lot of reasons, but come on, dude. I mean, put him behind bars as long as possible, but...
Yeah. Justice is being served outside of the court. His streaming numbers have gone down 40% since the incident this summer. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. And do we know why he shot her? Wasn't it like some wasn't there rumors like Kylie and Meg were hooking up and he got jealous? Is that what I heard?
I don't know. I felt like I couldn't really get a clear grip or like anything. So I didn't want to educate on something that I wasn't. Yeah, definitely. I don't know. But that was the rumor. In other news, of course, they released Girls in the Hood, our pump-up song on Night Classy. There's WAP with Cardi B, which rated #1. It broke the record for most streams for a song in its first week of release, 93 million streams.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah. Did you know that they wanted Lizzo to be in the cameo and not Kylie?
I did know that.
Oh, dang it.
I
didn't know that. Well, maybe those listening. I had no clue, but Lizzo was out of town, so they got Kylie.
Wow. Imagine being out of town. And
and they're just like, well, we're going to continue. I'd be like, let me just fly home real quick.
Yeah.
But, maybe she needed that vacation real bad.
There was probably something else important, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There were a ton of other cameos too. There was Normani, Rosalia Mulatto, Sukiana, Ruby Rose. A bunch of great artists got to cameo. I wish we would have gotten to see Lizzo. And then, of course, today, Good News was released, and Megan stated that she felt like during this time, aka 2020, she wanted people to look back and maybe have some good memories attached to this time. She was doing it for herself and for her mom. And what we've really seen, at least from what I've really seen, is a classic Megan rap style, but also some singing from Megan.
Yeah.
She got asked about her singing in an interview, and she was like, it doesn't sound too bad. I sound okay, but just put a little sauce on it and we're good to go. And we really got to see a different side of Megan's voice in this album. It's some of the songs are a little more poppy than I'm used to, but it's kind of cool to see. Like Don't Rock Me to Sleep. That song is about just kind of getting to the fucking point, as she says, you know, showing her softer, nicer way of saying these things. One of our favorites is Young Thug, Don't Stop, but that's besides the point. If you've never heard Megan Thee Stallion, check out her latest album. It's amazing. She talks about her body on this album. She's about empowering women. Her song Body was based on her quarantine fluff, as she calls it. And she's like, I have a lot of fucking mirrors in my house. And I've been, you know, you look at yourself in the mirror and, you know, she's just kind of leaning into it and loving her body for what it is. One last fun fact before we go. Megan Thee Stallion does, in fact, watch anime. Alec, you asked about that a couple of weeks ago. She does. She fucking loves anime. Do you know anime, Kat?
Do I know anime?
Do you watch anime?
Yeah.
Like if I said names,
I would
you
probably,
know it?
I'm not a huge anime head, but like I have like seen a few anime series.
Okay, well, I'll throw a few out there for anyone who might watch anime. She enjoys My Hero Academia, Attack on the Titan, Bleach.
I've seen Attack on the Titan.
Hey, there we go. Perfect. So that is all we need. I think Megan Thee Stallion is great. She's speaking out for Black women and representing like the Houston hottie she is. I can't wait to see what she serves up in 2021. My sources are Megan Thee Stallion speaks on label lawsuit, Rolling Stone, This Happened, CNN, GQ, Rolling Stone, thesource.com, vulture.com, populartimes.com.
Let's hear a quick word from our sponsors and we'll be right back. I accidentally licked the microphone. So it's Thanksgiving, and I know that the day after Thanksgiving, we all want to shop. And this year in 2020, it is so especially important that when we shop at small businesses. And I know the best small business to shop at.
Oh, I do too. Are we both talking about Ralphie?
I'm talking about Ralphie and Alice. Yes. Ralphie and Alice, our favorite lip balm company.
Okay, sweet. I'm glad we're on the same page. So we may not be able to shop in person or even give gifts in person this year. In addition to that, it's important to shop consciously. Ralphie and Alice is committed to giving back, and they're committed to the same things we are: higher education and community. They're all about linking up with artists. They create merchandise that goes out to specific organizations they support on a quarterly basis. This last quarter, they supported the NAACP and the Loveland Foundation. I had no idea what the Loveland Foundation was, so just to make sure that I also stood behind it, I looked it up. The Loveland Foundation, they're committed to showing up for communities of color in unique and powerful ways, and their specific focus is on Black women and girls. What I really love about this, and I'm also all about, is that the Loveland Therapy Fund provides financial assistance to Black women and girls nationally seeking therapy. Therapy is so good and so important, and to be a part of a program where you can get awesome lip balm and give back to communities, yeah, we're all about that.
Yeah, there's no question. So shop with a cause this Black Friday and use our code NIGHTCLASSY in all caps, no spaces, at ralphieandalice.com to get 15% off your order. Kiss dry lips goodbye. Mwah. Okay, well, welcome to Miss Barnhart's class. Hayley, at the beginning of this episode, you said, I wonder how many SpongeBob and The Office references we can make.
Yeah,
And
I did
it's gonna
say
be
that.
a lot.
Okay, good.
Because I'm talking about one of those things. Do you want to guess which one?
The Office.
No, SpongeBob.
Oh, okay, great.
So we've been doing
Spinch Bebo.
Spinch Bebo. I'm talking about Spinch Bebo. And so we've been making a lot of SpongeBob references lately, and we made a lot in our Patreon episode with Emmy. I just kind of wanted to educate myself on the SpongeBob franchise and how it was created, and that's my lesson today.
Yes. Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm all ears.
It's so fun. There was so much more than I thought there would be. So
I'm just going to soak it in like a sponge.
like
or
a
should I
little
say spinge.
Like a little spinge booby or whatever the fuck you called him. So my sources are todayifoundout.com, How SpongeBob Made It to Air by Carl Smallwood. It was like this article where I pretty much lifted my whole lesson from, so I thought I'd credit Carl on that one. Wikipedia, Newsweek, Mental Floss, IMDb, BuzzFeed, ScreenRant.com, and datebook.sfchronicle.com.
Okay.
So
Carl Smallwood, his last name might be what it is, but he knows a lot about SpongeBob. Spinge Bebo, yeah. Sorry, Carl, for your very unfortunate last name. Meg probably wouldn't want anything to do with you. That's true. So if, I don't know, maybe you live under a rock like Patrick, but if you've never watched SpongeBob before, I have a brief synopsis for you written by Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon describes SpongeBob as, quote, the character-driven cartoon chronicles the nautical and often nonsensical adventures of SpongeBob, an incurably optimistic and earnest sea sponge and his underwater friends. Dwelling a few fathoms beneath the tropical isle of Bikini Bottom Atoll, that's the name, in the subsurface city of Bikini Bottom, SpongeBob lives in a 2-story pineapple. Instead of taking the logical approach to everyday challenges, SpongeBob approaches life in a wayward and unconventional way. Whether searching for the ultimate spatula to perfect his burger flipping technique at the Krusty Krab, or just hanging out with his best friend Patrick, the amiable starfish, SpongeBob's good intentions and overzealous approach to life usually create chaos in his underwater world. So that's what SpongeBob's about. I don't think that was necessary, but just in case, you never know. Mm-hmm. Some parents didn't let their kids watch SpongeBob as kids, and we'll get to that. I babysat for parents who did that.
Yeah, and their reasons are interesting, and we'll talk about it. So SpongeBob was created by marine biologist Stephen Hillenburg, and Stephen was born in 1961 in Lawton, Oklahoma, but he was raised in Anaheim, California. When Stephen went to college, he was a natural resource planning major with an emphasis in marine resources and a minor in art in college. And he came up with the idea of SpongeBob while teaching marine biology at the Ocean Institute in California in the 1880s. But before he worked there, he worked as a fry cook.
You said in the 1880s?
In the 1980s.
I didn't even notice, so thankfully we have you to
That's why I jumped in.
So before he did that, though, he was a fry cook like SpongeBob. The main part of Hillenburg's job at this point at the Ocean Institute was to teach kids about the sea life that lived in tide pools. To help him do this, he created a comic book called The Intertidal Zone that featured sea creatures that he used to educate the kids.
Yeah, you have to make things cute and interesting and use puppets.
Yeah.
Because stuff is interesting as an adult, but as a kid, stuff is not interesting unless it's dangerous or it's fire.
Dangerous, yeah, and neither of those things were what was in the tide pools. So he had this little sea sponge that would teach the kids about different things. And these characters from his Intertidal Zone comic book would inspire many of the SpongeBob characters, including SpongeBob himself. And because Hillenburg was an art minor, the comic book looked pretty good. So he sent it around to some publishers, but unfortunately, no one wanted to publish it. But Hillenburg was still really passionate about this art project. And through this, he realized that he was more interested in art than marine bio. Just a couple years after beginning his career as a marine biologist, he decided to go back to school and get his master's degree in animation. And this was a big decision for him because when he was an undergrad, he loved art, but chose to only minor in it and not major in it because he was scared of the job prospects of being an artist. And he did really have a passion for the ocean and marine biology, which is why that's what he chose to go with. But art really shined through as his main passion in life.
When you know, you know.
Exactly. In the early 1990s, Hillenburg graduated from the California Institute of the Arts with a degree in experimental animation. And shortly after graduating, he was attending an animation festival. And at that animation festival, he met the creator of TV show Rocko's Modern Life. Do you know what that show is?
No.
It looks like this. You probably have seen it.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
It's like the little kangaroo, and he is friends with, I think, a cow and a turtle, and they go on all these misadventures. I think it was on Nickelodeon, or was it Cartoon Network?
It was Nickelodeon.
It was Nickelodeon. And so I guess him and this creator really hit it off. They were instant best friends, and Hillenburg showed him some of his portfolio and like a couple animated shorts that he made, and they were really good. So he was immediately offered a job on Rocko's Modern Life, which was a huge cartoon at the time. Hillenburg worked as one of the show's artists, writers, directors, and sometimes even as a producer. He just excelled and became a big part of the show. And it was while he was doing that he met voice actor Tom Kenny, who Hillenburg eventually cast as the voice of SpongeBob. Hillenburg said that he decided Kenny was the voice of SpongeBob just moments after meeting him. And this was a great decision, of course.
Does his voice sound like that in day-to-day life?
No, and I don't know, but I think it sounded similar. And like really soon after, like Hillenburg just kind of described what he wanted SpongeBob to sound like to Kenny, and Kenny immediately like got it. So Kenny is quoted saying that Steve described SpongeBob to me as a childlike and naive. He's not quite an adult, not quite a kid. Think a Stan Laurel, Jerry Lewis kind of child man, kind of like a munchkin, but not quite, kind of a kid, but not in the Charlie Brown's voice on TV shows. And so with this description, Kenny reportedly found the voice in about 10 seconds. Like it was instinctual.
Mastermind.
He was totally a mastermind.
His life had been leading up to that moment.
Yeah, I guess it was, because this was like Kenny's major career focal point. And side note, Kenny's wife, Jill Talley, is the voice of Karen, who plays Plankton's wife on the show.
Oh,
nice.
cool.
I love that.
Isn't that fun? And I do have another side note just about voice actors. So Bill Fagerbaki is the voice of Patrick, and he was able to do Patrick's voice he slowed down his speech and like pretended that his mouth was in his chest to get that kind of like very deep, like
I wonder,
low voice.
should we all try to do a Patrick voice?
Yeah, you should do it.
I feel like I don't know.
Okay, you said slow it down and make it feel
Slow
like
down
your mouth is in your chest.
Yeah.
Night class C.
There you go. I'll read my next bullet point in Patrick's voice.
Okay.
Also, Patrick was originally... Okay, I can't do it. Okay. So Patrick was also supposed to originally be the owner of a roadside bar, and he was supposed to be like a huge bully and like really mean.
Oh, no.
That had a chip on his shoulder because he was pink.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
So we're glad they didn't go with that. We like
Yeah.
Patrick the way he is.
I
He was
would not
proud
have-
of being pink.
Yeah, would not have let my kids watch that. I would have been.
Yeah, that would have been not so great. But luckily they didn't go with that version. So Rocko's Modern Life ended in 1996, and that's when Hillenburg started to really get serious about making SpongeBob happen. He created what he called the SpongeBob Bible, which contained all the information, backstory, and motivations of every character on the show. But like the basic idea for this show was still his comic book. So he kept SpongeBob mostly the same type of like character he was in the comic book, but radically changed his appearance. So in the comic book, SpongeBob was an anatomically correct sea sponge wearing sunglasses. And here's a picture of the original SpongeBob. He's not as cute.
Yeah, he's all choppy and round. He has a big old smile.
Yeah.
It looks like he may even have a nose. A little, but not the nose he has now. Just
Yeah.
like a little slit nose.
Little
He does
slit
have
nose.
sunglasses. Yeah, he's like one of those sponges you see in a bougie bathtub like gift set.
Yeah. It's like the sponges at Whole Foods.
Yeah.
There he is.
Not
he-
a dish sponge.
It looks like a piece of popcorn.
Yeah, he does look like a little piece of popcorn. And his little like speech bubble says, molting occurs when an animal sheds its exoskeleton in order to grow. So I don't think SpongeBob would say that. For the show, Hillenburg obviously decided to make him into a kitchen sponge with arms, legs, a shirt, and tie. Hillenburg didn't waver too much from that drawing, the final draft, except for his drawing had the hat, you know, that he wears at the Krusty Krab.
Yeah.
And so that was originally supposed to just be part of SpongeBob's everyday look, but it became just the uniform at the Krusty Krab.
It sets him apart. professional life versus personal life.
Right. And so that way he doesn't have to like change clothes. It's just like a simple little hat. He just puts on a little hat. SpongeBob's original name was supposed to be Sponge Boy and not, what did you call him?
Spinge Bebo.
Spinge Bebo. That would have been better. I think you should have gone with that. And then the show was supposed to be called Sponge Boy Ahoy. But that didn't work out because Sponge Boy was already trademarked as the name of a mop.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah, a mop, like a little spongy mop.
A little spongy mop.
A little
just
Swiffer
like a
picker-upper.
Like a scrub daddy. The scrub daddy got with a scrub mommy, and when two
made a sponge
when
boy.
two sponges love each other very much, they make a sponge boy.
Yes, exactly.
And when a marine biologist loves animation very much, he makes a sponge Bob.
Yes, he made a SpongeBob, and he kept Sponge in the name because he didn't want SpongeBob to get mistaken for a piece of cheese, because he does kind of look like cheese.
He does.
Yeah.
Very much so.
He does. So it was really important to keep the sponge in the name, and he ended up settling on this SpongeBob name. Originally, he had no last name, even though, as we know now, SpongeBob's last name is SquarePants. And he decided on this because of something that Tom Kenny said. Kenny just like offhandedly, while they were just shooting the shit, said, "Boy, look at this sponge in SquarePants thinking he can get a job at a fast food place." Just joking around about like when they were trying to like write episodes. And Hillenburg loved the name SquarePants so much because not only did it describe SpongeBob's outfit, but also the type of person SpongeBob is, which is a square.
Totally. Total square. Wouldn't it be funny to be named based off the clothes you wore?
Yeah. I just call you like Hayley brick sweater. I was trying to think of a color of your sweater. It's kind of brick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know, you have like a touch of goth in you almost. Like your, what are the boots that you wear called? You're wearing them tonight,
I'm wearing
right?
Doc Martens.
Doc Marten. I feel like that's just a bit goth.
Katya,
Okay.
goth girl. Katya, goth girl.
I am
Katya,
anything
goth girl.
The fact that you guys think I'm goth.
No, your style is. I said
not-
I touch goth. You're not completely goth. You're like.
I think I'm just a West Coast.
You're West Coast.
Yeah, you don't look gothy
I'm not
at all
goth
right
at
now.
all. I'm very preppy.
You look like a Spice Girl right now.
Oh, thank you. I have my space buns and my Doc Martens. Things are great. So
I meant that in a good way.
what if I didn't think you meant it in a bad way?
Okay, good.
What if I'm just like super upset right now?
I didn't mean you look goth all the time. I meant you have goth aspects to your personality. Don't be mad.
I wish I was goth. I literally couldn't pull that off. So leading up to pitching the show to Nickelodeon, Hillenburg and Rocco's Modern Life storyboard artist Derek Dryman, who Hillenburg ended up partnering up with because Derek heard about this idea for the show from Hillenburg and like desperately wanted to be part of it. So they spent a lot of time together watching footage of characters they felt were similar to SpongeBob and trying to create what they thought SpongeBob's character would be. They ended up basing SpongeBob's personality mostly on comedians Jerry Lewis, Stan Laurel, and Pee Wee Herman. I think that sums up
checks out.
SpongeBob pretty well.
Yep.
So they really fleshed out this character, and Hillenburg got his chance to pitch his show to Nickelodeon in 1997, the year I was born.
The golden year.
The golden year. And he went all out for this pitch, kind of like my mom went all out when she had me.
Your mom, wait, you have to tell us about because I feel like your mom goes all out for everything.
I just meant she created a cool kid.
Oh, I thought you meant she had like balloons at her birth or something.
No, I was almost born in the car because it was snowing really bad and they got stuck on a bridge.
Oh, wow.
That's why my middle name is
terrifying.
Winter.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I know. I need to ask my parents about that because I'm like, did you guys not have a middle name picked out when you went to the hospital? I've always wondered about that. Mom and Dad, hit me up if you're listening.
Yeah, this is the true proof. If they're listening,
Yeah.
they can't come back and say that they listen if they in a week from now they don't text you.
I'll know who my real parents are. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Spinge Bebo and Meg Thee Stallion are your parents.
They're my new parents.
You're a podcaster, Katya.
What?
Like, you're a wizard, Harry.
Oh.
Sorry, I guess that's another Haleyism that no one gets. Story of my life. Hayley SquarePants. Wow, wow.
Womp womp.
This is stupid, but I wrote it down and so I wanted to say it. Bob the Stallion and Sponge Meg. Sorry, I was cracking myself up over here.
Glad you got that out of your system.
Interesting. Leading up to the pitch, Hillenburg spent weeks creating a tiny set of bikini bottom with mini models of all the characters. He put this model inside of a large aquarium and wheeled it in under a sheet into the presentation room.
What if that's what you did for this episode of the podcast?
I made a model of bikini bottom and wheeled it in under a sheet.
Yeah, that would be phenomenal.
Yeah. During the pitch, they came in wearing bright Hawaiian shirts and blasting Hawaiian music. They described all their characters and their idea for the pilot episode, which they called Help Wanted, where SpongeBob applies for and gets his job at the Krusty Krab. The executives that witnessed the pitch described it as pretty amazing, and they said they wished they had it on tape. It was that good. 2 executives even had to leave the room because they couldn't stop laughing. And after only moments of deliberation, they greenlit the project and gave money to Hillenburg to produce the pilot, like on the spot. That like Hillenburg had assumed that he was going to have to like fly back to New York and wait a few days, but they just immediately were like, yeah, make this.
He
please.
arrived in that moment. He knew he had made it.
Yeah, exactly.
Holy crap.
This was the moment. Like he's like Meg. He got on Rocco's Modern Life. He thought he had made it, and then
Level up.
level up.
Also, I just imagine that these figurines or whatever they created for this pitch, I imagine that's what they used in the SpongeBob movie where they're dried out under the lamp in that shop on the beach.
He just has like random shit he picked up off the beach. He arrived in California from New York and just like started picking shit up off the ground.
Yeah, he's like, I've got my Hawaiian shirt. Everything's going to go fine, said every guy in college ever.
Got my Four Loko and my Hawaiian shirt. It's a good day. SpongeBob first aired at the Kids' Choice Awards in 1999. And just for fun, I looked up the winners of the Kids' Choice Awards in 1999. And 1999 had amazing taste. So Adam Sandler won Best Movie Actor. NSYNC won Best Music Group. The Rugrats movie won Best Movie. Super Mario 64 won Best Video Game. Drew Barrymore won Best Movie Actress. All That won Best TV Show. Rugrats won Best Cartoon. Everybody by the Backstreet Boys won Best Song. Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul won Best Book. And Will Smith won Best Singer. I don't see any flaws.
Wait, did you say chickle noodle soup?
Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul. Chicken Noodle Soup.
You ended that with, I see no flaws.
There's one flaw, and it's the fact that I have drank like an entire pint of vodka and I can't speak.
I have to agree, though, from what I understand happened at the Kids' Choice Awards. Or wait, was that what it was? The Kids' Choice Awards?
Yeah, the Kids' Choice Awards.
Yes, I agree. No flaws.
No flaws, and everybody got slimed. They slimed a whole pile of chicken noodle soup books, and it was the best day of everyone's life.
They slimed books? That's like burning books.
That's what I imagined.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Did you know that the slime they used was I think it was like vanilla pudding that was dyed green?
I did not know that.
I don't know for sure
Wait,
that that's what it was,
I
but it
think
was
you're right.
edible.
Do they make green food dye?
Oh, God.
Today, Alec was confused that there was yellow food dye.
Do they not just mix blue and yellow? There's green. There's
Yeah.
green food dye.
This is a whole jab at me. Haley's boyfriend made a sketch where he was drinking urine, and I asked, how did they make the urine? And they were like, yellow food dye. And I was like, oh, I didn't know there was such thing as yellow food dye. Because yellow food dye looks orange.
Yeah, and the funny part is that it wasn't even yellow food dye. It was orange food dye that we just we barely put any in the water.
Damn it.
I'm sorry. I had to take
That was good. That was good.
It was a good shot. But when we were kids, they used pudding as slime. And then later on, when we got a little older, they started, like the slime got like watery.
It got wet.
Yeah, it just turned into like green water.
There's some slime in this house. There's some slime in this house.
And then they fucked it up, and now there's some water in this house. Alec and I, our house is being so cold lately. So Alec and I are always like, it is cold in this house. It is cold in this house.
Put some coats on in the house.
Yeah.
Put some coats on in the house.
Put your
$100 per
house.
month. Yeah. Every single month. Got me fucked up.
Paying that utility bill. Yeah. Okay. I
hope
can't think of any more.
Yeah, I know. I'm no
Megan Thee
rappist.
Stallion. I'm no rappist. So the show ended up premiering on July 17th of 1999 and quickly blew up. To this day, it is Nickelodeon's highest rated TV show. And as of 2017, it had generated $13 billion.
Jeez.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Is it still airing?
Yes. I
thought
mean,
so.
not as in 2020, but it aired throughout 2019 and hasn't been canceled yet. I think they just haven't started making a new season, or maybe they have.
COVID.
I couldn't find anything. Yeah, probably like COVID. It's been turned into 3 feature films and then another 3 made for TV films. It's aired for 13 seasons. Tragically, in November of 2018, Stephen Hillenburg died after a long battle with ALS. But despite this, SpongeBob has, like we said, not been canceled and continues to thrive and live its best life. So SpongeBob is obviously a sensation. It has featured guests including Johnny Depp, Victoria Beckham, Amy Poehler, LeBron James, Tina Fey, Pink, Patton Oswalt, Will Ferrell, David Bowie, and Robin Williams, and more. Legends.
Legends.
Legends on legends. One especially interesting guest was the heavy metal band Pantera, who recorded a special version of the solo of their song Death Rattle for the episode Pre-Hibernation Week, the one where Sandy is like the crazy bear.
Oh, yeah. Yes, she is. She's not even a squirrel at that point. She
Yeah.
is a crazy bear.
Yeah.
She like hulks up.
Yeah. And he like rips the fur off of her. It makes a headband. Wow,
Me 1 month before summer hits, like
it's so good. It's so good. So most of these cameos were actually against I keep wanting to call him Hildenberg. His name is Hillenburg. Maybe I'll just call him Steven.
it's totally different. I hear a difference.
It is different, and I keep saying it wrong.
I'm sorry.
Most of these cameos were against Steven's wishes, and they were only allowed to happen after season 3 when Steven stepped down as the showrunner. And this is because he was scared of the show being compared to The Simpsons. He didn't want to seem like he was copying them, I guess. And that makes sense. They're both yellow. A large inspiration to Hillenburg.
Wait, were there other like resounding reasons as to why?
No, I was kidding. They're not similar.
But why was he worried? Do we know?
I think they both became like hugely popular around the same time. I mean, as a kid, SpongeBob and The Simpsons were my favorite cartoons. And I think it was similar. Like, obviously The Simpsons was made for adults and SpongeBob was made for kids, but it was similar humor, and they both like were having all these cameos.
Is it true that SpongeBob, from what I understand, has built-in things for adults to make it bearable to watch with your kids?
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
I have some examples. A large inspiration to Hillenburg was Ween, who is a band, was Ween's 1997 album, The Mollusk, which had nautical themes and underwater themes. Hillenburg contacted the band shortly after the album's release and explained to them the baseline idea for SpongeBob SquarePants and requested a song from the band, and like they loved his idea. And so they sent him a song on Christmas Eve, and the song was Loop de Loop. You know that song in SpongeBob? It was in the episode Your Shoes Untied.
I'd have to hear it.
Okay. I can't sing it, but it was a good song. Other artists have produced music for SpongeBob. This includes Avril Lavigne, who sang a pop punk version of the original theme song for the movie soundtrack. The Flaming Lips, who wrote the song SpongeBob and Patrick Confront. Oh, wow. I really can't talk, you guys. SpongeBob and Patrick confront the psychic wall of energy. Other appearances include Brian Wilson, Tommy Ramone, Elvis Presley guitarist James Burton, Jim Bowie, wow, David Bowie, and Davy Jones from the Monkees.
Wow, Davy Jones, wasn't there a whole episode about Davy Jones' locker?
Yeah, I don't think that's I think Davy Jones is named, his like stage name is named after Davy
but
Jones'
that
locker.
name's in SpongeBob. They talk
Yeah,
about it.
they do. Good job.
Yes, the transitive property.
Yes.
It all relates.
It all comes back around.
Spinge Bebo.
Spinge Bebo vodka has played a real cameo in this episode. So apparently there was also a push to have Justin Timberlake on the show, but Hillenburg fought against that, saying, quote, "I don't want any of those commercial weirdos on there. I don't like those commercial people. I like you guys, Wilco and Ween." And Wilco and Ween were two of like his favorite not very popular bands who were featured on SpongeBob.
That would be a little like if you were at the threshold, like you're creating something and then you start to have these really big names start to be available to you. It's before you break into that, I feel like it's hard to trust that.
Yeah, it's hard to trust that. But also, I think Hillenburg just had such a passion for what he was creating and didn't want to lean on big names. I think that's kind of what this boils down to, is he felt like there was a lot of integrity in something standing on its own legs and not relying on these cameos. But the cameos also I really enjoy, and I think a lot of people do too. SpongeBob has earned a huge place for itself in pop culture. There have been a lot of internet memes recently featuring SpongeBob scenes. This includes the like 1 hour later and no, my name is Patrick. What's funnier than 24? 25. And then there's like the my leg fish.
Oh yeah, always.
Always. And he actually has a name. His name is Fred. That was stated in one of the episodes. There's a SpongeBob SquarePants 4D film ride at Six Flags. There's a Macy's Day Thanksgiving parade float of SpongeBob every year since 2004.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, he's in the Macy's Day parade. He's very important. Jeremy Scott's fall 2014 collection for Moschino. Is that how you say it? Moschino? The fashion line?
So yeah,
so.
Target.
Yeah. Well, no. It's like a real fashion designer.
Oh, well, Target has one that's spelled exactly like I think that one's spelled. You know what I'm talking about?
Mossimo.
Oh, yeah. That's probably exactly like that, but
it's
different.
A little different. And this was her.
It's just like SpongeBob, Spinge Bebo, and what is the like pencil drawing of SpongeBob, like the evil one? Doodlebob.
Doodlebob is the Target brand.
Yeah.
SpongeBob is the real like Italian fashion line.
Yeah, and then Spinge Bebo is me.
Yeah. But anyway, so this fashion line included sweaters and backpacks that featured the character, which was a big deal. Like, this is on runways in Italy, and Moschino is like a big label. There was a show in 2003 and 2004 on MTV2 and VH1 called Illustrated. This doesn't translate very well through audio, but ill was like ILL, like that's ill, bro. Yeah. And so it was called Illustrated. And so they would do animated shorts. And in one of their animated shorts, they did a parody of SpongeBob called SpongeBob Hemp Pants. And I believe we have the intro song to play for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, who lives in a bung in a dormitory? SpongeBob Hemp Pants. Disgusting and green and sticky as he. SpongeBob Hemp Pants. Looking necrotic is something you do. SpongeBob
Something you lose.
Somebody come and smoke it with you. SpongeBob Hemp Pants. SpongeBob Hemp Pants. SpongeBob Hemp Pants. SpongeBob Hemp Pants.
Yeah, he looks affected.
Yeah. He's green. He's dressed as like a hippie stoner. I have a picture.
He lives in a mushroom, if you didn't catch that from the audio.
Yes, he lives in a mushroom. And Patrick's name, what was Patrick's name? Like Keef Prick or something? He's like basically a huge nug. And then Squidward, I forget what Squidward's name is, but he's a joint and his nose is like a big clip. I've never seen a drug, But if I were to see
But
a
if I
drug, I've never
did,
seen one used like that.
I've seen the parody of
Yeah.
SpongeBob as a drug.
Yeah. But I watched the first episode. I was not super impressed. It is on YouTube if you want to watch it. Basically, SpongeBob, and whatever they called Patrick, where they like ran out of weed and they went to buy weed from Squidward, but they didn't have any money. And so they went to the Krusty Crack, and it was like Mr. Krabs, and he was a crack rock, and they stole a car stereo from his car and then traded it with Squidward for weed. And then Mr. Krabs like went and like beat up Squidward, and then SpongeBob and Patrick got arrested. It was, it was
I feel like
not
they
the best.
They could have painted the whole situation much better.
Differently. Yeah, it was, there were choices. And if you want to see the choices, there's 3 episodes that you can watch on YouTube. But actually, real life SpongeBob show does have a reputation as being stoner friendly. I mean, I've never even seen a drug, but I've heard tales of people watching SpongeBob when they're high.
I mean, I watched SpongeBob when I was a kid, so it probably checks out.
Probably.
In all stages of life.
Yeah, we're gonna...
Including your early 20s.
Yeah. Probably. I mean, yeah, it rings a bell. We don't know. So SpongeBob... I'm so sorry, Alec, that you have to edit this. In season 4, episode 20, season 4, episode 20, that episode is titled The Best Day Ever. So I think we know where SpongeBob stands on the whole weed thing. This is definitely not SpongeBob's only controversial moment. So like we said before, I'm sure we all had friends in elementary school who weren't allowed to watch SpongeBob. I know that I did. Maybe you were even someone who wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob. A lot of people didn't let their kids watch SpongeBob. And this is because, Hayley, like you said, there's a lot of adult humor disguised in this cartoon,
but I didn't even know about it until I was older and could see it. Like as a kid, I feel like you don't really pick up on it.
It goes straight over your head. And that's why I'm like, my parents loved watching SpongeBob with me because it's funny to them too. And I think that's one of the genius things about it is they're able to disguise the adult humor in a way where no kid would pick up on it. But it makes it enjoyable for the parents. It's not like watching Caillou or some bullshit.
Yeah, my dad would watch it with us every Saturday morning. It was a ritual.
Oh, yeah, my dad would too. It was the best. So there's a BuzzFeed article titled 18 Adult SpongeBob Jokes That Went Completely Over Our Heads as Kids. And I'm just going to read a few of my favorites. So when SpongeBob failed his driver's test, he told Miss Puff, "See you next Tuesday." When, like, he called her a cunt.
Oh.
Okay, it went over Hayley's head too.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. There's an episode where Mr. Krabs, after like Plankton tries to steal the Krabby Patty recipe, he flushes him down the toilet, and Plankton's like going down the toilet cursing him, and Mr. Krabs goes, "And now for the chaser," like he's gonna pee on him. And then in one episode, Mermaid Man says, "Why else would we run around in our colored undies?" Like talking about how their super suits give them superpowers. And Squidward goes, "I can think of 3 good reasons." And like he looks like he's like fantasizing about something.
I want to know more about Squidward. Out of everyone, he's most
got the
mysterious.
best one-liners.
Yeah.
For sure. There was one episode where SpongeBob was watching TV, and then Gary, and he's like watching TV really intensely, like leaning forward and smiling. And then Gary goes in the room and he like frantically changes the channel like he's watching porn.
What if you did that for like your pets?
Like Ernie comes in the room and we're changing the channel.
Yeah. Or like what? Never mind.
Okay. SpongeBob gave Patrick a cake that said "Starry" about the scabies. It just like blatantly said it, but kids can't read.
Yeah.
Sandy once had to fight a French fish called the tickler, which I guess is a reference to a type of condom called the French tickler.
Oh, I've heard people call a beard like ticklers, like thigh ticklers.
Yeah, maybe that's part of it. But that's all I wrote down. The videos or the articles online if you want to see it. There's more controversy around SpongeBob. I don't know if you remember this, but there was a video featuring SpongeBob released, I think it was by Nickelodeon in 2005, that was meant to promote diversity and acceptance in children. But it sparked outrage from Focus on the Family and other conservative groups because they felt that it was gay propaganda.
Fuck them.
Fuck
What'd
them.
they say?
They thought that SpongeBob is gay and that like because he was featured in a video about acceptance, it was gay propaganda. And so this actually became like a huge thing, and Nickelodeon had to put out a statement saying that actually, you bitches, like SpongeBob doesn't have a sexual orientation. He's a kid's cartoon character and a fucking sponge. And Hillenburg is quoted saying that he considers all of his characters asexual, but believes that the attitude of SpongeBob SquarePants is about tolerance, which, duh.
Basically, people have really bad views and are racist and homophobic, and people suck. I'm sorry.
That's what this boils down to. It's just people being idiots and finding a reason to be little bitches about a kid's cartoon character. And like also being little, like just feeling threatened because they're small people about something that's meant to embrace diversity. It made no mention of any kind of sexual orientation. It was just people with too much time on their hands and too much hate in their hearts getting mad about some bullshit. And on that note, like SpongeBob has nothing to do with sexual orientation, but it does have to do with love, acceptance, friendship, embracing everybody for exactly who they are, about humor. And I just think it's one of the best cartoons, if not the best cartoon to ever air on TV. It's certainly my favorite. It's the story of a very lovable, very pure, very wonderful sponge. And that is SpongeBob SquarePants, and that is my lesson. And you're not saying anything, so I didn't know.
I thought you were going to say your sources.
Oh,
Yeah.
I already said my sources.
Cool.
I thought you were going to say more
sources?
things. Yes, I did.
Okay.
But I agree. SpongeBob is the best. Will always hold a special place in my heart. I'm so glad I got to grow up watching him.
Me too. I feel very lucky. And so if you feel very lucky for listening to our show, you can do a few things for us that we would really, really appreciate. You can go to Apple Podcasts and subscribe. You can recommend us to a friend. You can give us a rating. You can follow our socials, or you could even be really extra special and donate to our Patreon. We would really, really, really appreciate that. And there's lots of cool perks on there like we talked about earlier. But even if you don't do any of those things, it's still amazing that you listened. Thank you so much. We could not appreciate you more. And 3, 2, 1, class dismissed.